I just shared a document. So if you guys want to follow along with me, you can take notes on your own, like notepad or screen or whatever. But that's like every topic I'm going to cover today. If you would like my personal notes um, from today's call, you can text me and I will send you those a little bit later today. But while everybody's opening that document, getting set up with that, um, I'm pretty excited to share with you guys today. Mall season is something that I'm actually like slowly trying to work myself out of, like just having my family and my wife and my son. But I know malls is something that I'll forever be grateful towards. I've gotten so many clients. Actually, my biggest order ever at a $50,000 business gift was actually from a gentleman that I met at the mall in December of 2020. And I did a service call for him in January. And then later that year, I closed his business on a 50K order. So I will forever be grateful for malls. I have 2,200 customers, and I've probably gotten about 400 of my customers from the mall. So almost 20% of my business has come from the mall. So it's just something I'm really passionate about. It's something that's really helped propel me forward. And by the way, guys, this is going to be real pitch and catch. I'm going to ask questions. Don't be shy. Raise your hands. You can talk to me. You can unmute yourself, stuff like that. So I want to ask first, um, who is this your first mall season for anyone? Ashlyn and Jamie, go Ashlyn, go Jamie. Awesome. And then I know JC, Roger, Coyote, I'm sure Jeff, you guys have done multiple mall seasons. So I tried to get my biggest takeaways that I think can give value to anyone that's in their first year doing malls or someone who's maybe done malls for 10 years, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is don't stop the train. So, Ashlyn, Jamie, I'm sure you guys have been doing demos and things like that. When have you noticed like you've usually had like some of your biggest weeks doing appointments? And you can unmute yourself. When have you had like some of your biggest weeks? Like what have been some of the factors that have gone into those big weeks?
I would say I was working the hardest and just implementing everything that I had either learned that week or a couple weeks prior.
Okay, working hard. What is working hard? Like what did that look like?
I would say just doing the basic things, just making the phone calls and booking the appointments and then just doing them, I guess.
Okay, like you spent a lot of time on the phone, you booked a lot of appointments. How about you, Jamie?
That's what I was going to say. When I have a full week, I've got, 10 appointments ahead. And when I go into a demo, I'm making 5 calls before, 5 calls after. That's when I have my best weeks.
Exactly. When you have a lot going on, right? So that's why this first topic is don't stop the train. Don't stop the momentum train. So what I've learned about mall season is it's a time of year when everybody's in a buying mood, and with the malls and all of our other layers, it's very easy to get in a really good state of positive momentum, right? So what I want to tell you guys is don't just look at mall season as, oh, I'm just going to show up to my mall and I'm going to sell at my mall. Make sure you're utilizing all of your layers. Keep doing your demos, keep doing your service calls, keep doing your traditional events if your month isn't completely packed with malls, right? And what that does is it just keeps you constantly in front of customers, and it's just very easy to continuously close orders, right? Like as you can see, or I'm sure Coyote shared with you guys, but we've had 3 years over $100,000 in sales. Yesterday, I sold $300 at the booth. It's not the sexiest day at the booth, right? But I can tell you guys, we're going to have another 100K year. And that's what it looks like. It's going to be a day where you have two orders for $300. It's going to be a day where you have one order for $2,000. You never know how it's going to turn out, but it's all about just consistently showing up every day and doing things outside of the booth as well. I sold three orders for $800 on the phone. So I know today when I have the customer that wants that homemaker, wants that 5-piece, wants a 2-piece with a free peeler, I'm going to be ready to close that order and stay in that consistent state of closing throughout the whole month of December. So next, are you marketing? That's a question. Are you marketing? Jeff is marketing. I'm sure, is Coyote marketing? I'm sure Coyote's marketing. Ashlyn, Jamie, are you marketing? You might be like, what's marketing? So what I want to do is I want to take a second and give you guys some tips of what I go through with my mentees who maybe only have 25, 30, 50 customers, right? Jamie, Ashlyn, have you guys done any marketing for this month at all? No, not at all. Okay, awesome. So you're going to start marketing today, okay? So what that's going to look like is you're going to send out a gratitude and a service text message today, okay? So make sure you guys text me after this call so you can get these messages. But today you want to send something out that says, hey, Miss Jones, just want to reach out and thank you for letting me be your Cutco rep. You've helped tremendously with my goals. Just a reminder, if you could use your knife sharpened for Christmas, or if you have a friend that needs service, I'm happy to help. Your Cutco guy, Anthony Kayed. Ashley and Jamie, how many customers do you guys have?
I would say probably a couple hundred, maybe less than that, maybe about
Okay,
100.
that's awesome. Jamie, yourself?
Mine's less than 100, so
Perfect. So Ashton, I'd recommend maybe get with your manager, get with Coyote, maybe see about some sort of texting service. But what you can do, it will take a few hours. You can just personally text every single customer, just copy and paste that text message. It will take some time, but it's going to go so far. You're going to have customers that say thank you. You're going to have customers that say, oh my gosh, I do need service. Thank you for reaching out. And you're going to have customers say, you know what, actually, I need to buy 2 knives for a gift for my mom, just from that gratitude and service text. So I highly recommend send that out today, right? December 3rd, send that out. And then what you also want to do, are you guys running sales? Do you have a sale set up, Jamie or Ashlyn?
yes, we do.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So I won't go into the sale then, but just make sure that you do send out some sort of gratitude text as well and something for service as well. And then keep going with your sale. So next I'm going to go over mall season, things that are a little bit different throughout the malls than a regular traditional event or a key event. Number one, signage. I actually just stopped at Office Depot right now. My partner went back home. He took his whiteboards. You want to make sure you have some whiteboards, guys. And every day, especially during the weekdays, you want to do some sort of deal of the day. Okay. So I like to have on my side tables where the flow of traffic is, I like to have 2 signs on each table. One sign will say, sign up for free sharpening here. So that'll help me get a lot of service calls. And then another sign will be some sort of deal of the day, right? You can do buy a set, get free shears. Buy 4 knives, get a free gift. Buy 3, get 1. Buy a set, get a free outdoor knife. Just anything that's going to pique some sort of interest, right? And what's very interesting is you'll have people that say, oh, what set do I have to buy? And you go into the whole thing and then they end up buying cookware or flatware or something that has nothing to do with that deal of the day, right? So you just want to have some sort of signage up that's going to help customers stop at the booth. Also decorations, guys, we're already in December, so I do recommend just get some bows, get some tinsel, buy little Christmas trees. I always just go to Hobby Lobby. You'll find stuff for anywhere from $3 to $10. Every mall season, I spend about $30 about Hobby Lobby just to get some decorations for my booth, just to make it a little bit more festive, a little bit more pretty, right? And also, if you guys aren't at the booth almost every day like I am, make sure you're direct scheduling those service calls. That's really huge. If you guys can set 10 appointments for the month of December, how much more CPO are you going to sell that month, right? If you're like me, JC, Coyote, something that Hunter started doing a couple years ago is for the first part of December, the first 2 weeks, Monday through Thursday, what we do is we do right when we open, a 10 a.m. appointment and then a 10:45. And then the last 2 hours before closing, which are usually some of the slowest hours, so we close at 9. So I'll do a 7:30 appointment and an 8:15 appointment, right? So there's days where maybe all day only I sell, a trimmer or a 5-piece or something small. And then I have that service call coming. I'm selling a homemaker upgrade or a Siggy upgrade or something like that really helps boost my numbers. So make sure you guys are doing sharpening. The next thing I want to go over, guys, is unwavering faith. Might seem kind of corny, it might seem kind of silly, but you're not going to have your 20K month, 30K month, 40K month, 50K month until you truly believe that that's what you're going to do that month. I know for me, what's helped me have my biggest mall season is in 2021, I was chasing the Rolex and I was at 230 grand in by the end of November, and I needed to have it was a 57K December to hit my goal. So you can bet your butt that first day of mall season, I was just super chipper. Every customer, if you're interested, I have a huge goal. I'm going to help you out. You'll get a great deal. I was just super, super excited, super passionate. And I ended up selling 66K that December. And what's really amazing is since I had that big year, every year I haven't had less than a 45K December. So it's really awesome is once you have that big month, once you have that big mall, it just brings your standards higher, right? So, just curious, who's going to be the person that stays focused, stays hungry, stays humble, has that big mall season and changes their mall from a 20, 30K mall to a 40, 50K mall, and that becomes the standard. And the final thing I want to go over is planting your flag. For me, I have a wife, I have a 5-year-old, so I've always just wanted to stay home, stay in my area, so that way I can go home every night. But what I've seen over the years is many reps, they might be at one mall that does 20, 30K, and then they move up in the ranks and they're like, oh, okay, now I can finally work that 70K mall or that 80K mall. And then they jump to that other mall and they really don't sell too much more than in the previous year. So for me, what's worked is just planting my flag. Every year I have customers that come to the mall and just expect me to be there, right? So I'm curious, what's your mall going to look like if you stay there for 3, 4, 5 years? How much business are you going to get from past customers by planting your flag at the mall? So that's what I have for you guys today. Just to recap, don't stop the train. Stay with the momentum, whether it's at the booth, in a demo, on a service call to a past customer. Keep the momentum, and that's going to help you have your big mall season. Make sure you're marketing, send out gratitude, service text message, sale promos. Make sure you're doing the things that are different during the malls and from traditional events with your signage, your decorations, your booth sharpening. Make sure you have unwavering faith. Believe that you can have that 20, 30, 40K month. That's the first step to actually doing it. And finally, plant your flag. Plant your flag down. And this is Luke Mills said something early in the year to me that really stuck, that his vision with Cutco is decades, not dollars, right? Don't just sell for today, sell for what it's going to get you for the future. So thank you guys so much for having me. If you have any questions, I do have about 10 minutes to answer questions.
Awesome. Round of applause for LA. Thank you so much, LA. That was amazing. Thank you for coming on here before your mall. So we got about like 5 minutes for Q&A, so that works out perfectly if you're down to answer some questions. I guess I'll start with one just so while everybody's the thoughts and the questions are boiling up there. So what I know, I don't know how the division lines are anymore. I know at one point you were in Lone Star. I'm sure you remember Dante talking about using the mall product to handle objections and close, and he uses like the binder to be like, oh, we only have this many left. Do you do that at all? And if so, could you walk our team through on how to do that?
Yeah, guys. So we call that the inventory close. And I'll type this real quick for you guys too in the chat so you can just copy and paste it to your notes. The inventory close is really helpful. We should have mall promo coming in tomorrow, so I know that's going to help me close some orders. And sometimes you'll have people that come by the booth and they're like, oh my gosh, I lost my shears, or I lost my trimmer, or I want to get my mom a knife, right? So what you do is you find out whatever it is they want, and then they'll want the price, right? That the shears are 141, and they'll say, okay, awesome, thank you. And they'll like run away. So what you got to do is say, whoa, hang on, Miss Jones. So you want to stop Miss Jones. You want to give her the price of the item she's looking for. And then what you want to do is say, hey, real quick, do you mind if I see how many we have left? She'll say yes. Now you want to put in some theatrics, right? Oh, shoot. Actually, Miss Jones, we only have 3 pairs of those shears left. You can totally think about it, but this is our busiest time of year. I definitely can't promise those will still be here when you come back. And then she's really serious. She'll reluctantly pull out her credit card and say, okay, fine, let me take the shears. Okay. So then you'll write up the order. And then what you'll say is, hey, Miss Jones, actually, we do free shipping, and they'll still come in before Christmas. Is it cool if I just ship them to you so we can save them for any last minute shoppers? And it's so funny. Like literally 90% of the time, like 9 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, that's fine, as long as they're here before Christmas. So that'll happen so often. And then what's good is, you guys know from there, once you close those shears, you get that credit card, you're writing up that order. Then you go into our upserving. Hey, just so you know, we actually have a special today. It's a buy 3, get 1. Or if you buy a small set, you actually get a free pair of shears. So it's so awesome to see you go from, Miss Jones was about to run away, not buying those shears, to where you at least get a shears. And so many times, I'll sell a 5-piece with shears or a galley with free shears. So that's the inventory close, guys. Thanks, Coyote.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah, we hadn't had anybody talk about that yet, and yeah, it's great. It's so funny. Like I learned this from Dante at the mall meeting like 4 or 5 years ago, and it is so funny how like accurate that is. Like they'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll think about it, and be like, oh well, before you go, hold on, let me check our inventory, because like we have very limited amount, and then like no matter what the number is, whether it's if we literally, yeah, oh my gosh, we only have 24 table knives left. And like that may sound like a lot to you guys, but it's like, if you think about it, be like, yeah, and most people buy in sets of 8, so that's only 3 sets. So hey, and you kind of just go into it, right? And you're like, I would hate for you to come back and we'd be out and then not be able to sell them to you. And then it's funny, and they'll be like, okay, like sure, and then you'll get the credit card first, right? Like Billy said, and then you just be like, hey, just curious, like I know you want to get them. Do you mind if we just ship them to you? Because like our shipping cutoff is December 18th, and like we're gonna have people that come last minute and like want to buy something, and then it'll be after our like shipping deadline. Do you mind if I just ship it to you? It's free. It'll get there before Christmas. And then literally, like LA said, 9 times out of 10, they'll just like, yeah, no problem. And then literally everything you just said before then just doesn't matter. But it was the way to close them, and it's so funny how well that works. Like it's honestly so funny. So yeah, so that is a great thing I would add. By the way, huge nugget. If you're not doing that currently, definitely add that. Okay, does anybody, we got a couple more minutes, like maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Anybody have a question? Chinozo?
Yeah, sorry. I was driving when you had asked, but I'm also a new rep that's starting malls this year. And funny enough, I think when you'd mentioned the signage, I actually this morning went to go get some signs, like the chalk signs, but my plan was to actually do like a raffle because I noticed our booth is in front of a Sephora store in the mall. And so my plan was to do a raffle, like buy like $300 and like enter to win like $100 Sephora card. And I was wondering, would you recommend something like that, or what would you recommend?
So
No.
the only reason I wouldn't recommend that is because I've never done it and I don't know how it goes. But I know what does work is having some signs for free sharpening. So that's going to help you get service calls. And then also doing some sort of deal of the day, whether it's buy 3, get 1, buy 4 knives, get a free gift, buy a set, get free shears, buy a set, get a free outdoor item, buy a set, get a free gift. Any sort of the deal of the day. And what's very interesting is that's going to attract people. And there's so many times where they just stop to ask about the deal of the day, and then you close them on something that had nothing to do with the deal of the day. So I
Okay.
know that the free sharpening has gotten me service calls, and the deal of the day has gotten me orders that, maybe someone I would have never stopped in the past without that sign. So I would definitely recommend free sharpening and a deal of the day. I know that's worked for me for many years.
All right.
Okay, one last question. Anybody have a question? All right, JC, rip it off.
Yeah. So I found when I'm working with customers at the mall, especially like the people that are, maybe I can draw them in, but they clearly had somewhere that they're trying to go. They've got an agenda, they're trying to stick to it. One of the ways I'll try to like engage them is, can I get them closed on something, like just anything? And usually that thing ends up being pretty small, like a piece, or, it's the person that comes up for like a replacement table knife or shears that they lost in a divorce or something. And I'm wondering, like, I feel pretty confident engaging those people on like getting them a piece and making them feel good about it because we have like a special or something. Do you have any verbiage that you'll use to like get them interested, like set the hook with maybe like a 5-piece or a set first, as opposed to just getting their interest on that piece really quick?
Yes. I feel like a lot of people forget to use the urgency of our prices going up very, very soon to help close larger orders. So I know for me personally, that's something that I have not leaned on in the past. That I've really been leaving. I've been leaning on it for the past month. And I know that's helped me. They're quick. You can tell they're in a rush. And you just let them know, hey, Miss Jones, just so Cutco lasts forever. The only thing that gets worse about Cutco is the pricing. So I'm just curious real quick, what's probably going to be next on your wish list? Is it going to be, getting into a small set, upgrading your set, getting cookware, getting flatware? Do you own a business? What's probably going to be next on your wish list? And then letting them know, oh, it's actually going to be that homemaker, or just so you know, that set's probably going to go up close to $200 come, right around January, like right around the corner. Just for fun, do you mind if I just show you what that special would look like on that set real quick? And what I've seen is like, I know exactly what you're saying, JC. Like they're just in a rush. Like they want those shears, they want that table knife, like they're ready to go. And by letting them know the price is going to go up, kind of brings that guard down and it piques the interest because nobody wants to pay more for Cutco. And they're going to buy it in the future anyways. So they know like, well, if the prices are going to go up and if there's a good deal, like let me at least hear him out. So I would definitely recommend leaning on that price increase. That's helped me out.
Okay, so just to spit it back at you, make sure I got that right. They buy their paring knife or whatever, and you say, "Hey, by the way, just so you know, like we do have a price increase coming up around the corner. Just since I'm going to be your Cutco rep, just so I know what's kind of like next on your list, and then once you have that going, Well, hey, just so you know, so we do have that price increase coming up. If it's something you're going to get anyways, I hate for you to spend more later. Just because we do have some specials at the mall. Can I at least show you what that might look like, and then you can tell me what works best for you? Is that kind of the flow to that?
Yep. So the main things is number one, peak interest with a price increase. See what would be next on their list, and then you just stack all the value. Like you're gonna beat the price increase. This is our busiest time of the year. Um, we get the most traffic. We see the most people, so we're actually allowed to do some of our best pricing here at the mall today. Do you mind if I just show you what that special would be on that set or on that upgrade, on that cookware, whatever it is?
Okay.
Because now their interest is really peaked because they're like, oh my gosh, this price increase, there's really big discounts. I'm gonna buy it anyways. Let me just see at least.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, LA. That was amazing. Everybody, hands up. Anybody get a nugget from this? Anybody get some good takeaways? Everybody, perfect. Yeah, my biggest takeaway. I knew about the inventory close, but just the reminder of how to do it is always key. Other thing too, yeah, plant your flag. It's so true. Like how many people have bounced? I mean, I'm guilty of this. I've bounced around 7 malls in 8 years, from Lubbock to Stonebriar to Tyler to Parks to Oklahoma City. I think I've worked every mall in our division plus Lubbock. So I am definitely guilty of that. So that's a big thing, planting your flag. And then my other biggest takeaway was definitely just unwavering faith. Like keep in mind, you're gonna have a $200 day. You're gonna have 3 orders for 200 one day, and then you're gonna have 1 order for 3,000 the next day. Like that is just so true. It's like you're gonna have an ultimate set, and then you're gonna sell the next day you're gonna sell a replacement paring knife or a replacement table knife and a pair of shears. It's like that's so true. So keep that in mind. That's a great nugget. So yeah, once again, thank you so much, LA. We really appreciate having you. I hope you crush your mall season. I hope you hit every single goal you have for the rest of the year. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on the reports.